Hello guys and welcome to this new tutorial. So it's been a while because I'm involved in several projects and I want to show you something. Today we are gonna do this rapidly movement with Vellum cloth. So pretty simple, pretty easy, and we will do a little render setup. But first of all, I want to show you the new courses that will come out in the future. So I did a poll on the community tab, and the first course will be Abstract Design Volume 2. After that will the Procedural Design Volume 2 released, after that Motion Design, and after that the Procedural Hard Surface Design. I did a little teaser on that. It's on Instagram and in the community tab too, so be sure to check that out. And this will be the new course timeline, and from here to here. I'm excited about that and I hope you too. Leave feedback down in the comments. What do you want to see in each course? And I think let's get started here with Houdini. So it will be a pretty simple setup. Let's just delete this one here and close that. Make a new Houdini scene and we'll start in the object level and place down a geometry node here. Let's make it black and round and let's call it Vellum. Vellum, cool. Dive inside with double click or the I key, and with the U key you can dive up a level. Cool. First of all, we need a geometry, so we'll place down a grid, a simple grid. For now, enable smooth wire shaded, it's up here, and we will scale it down a little bit. So maybe 3 by 3, I think that's enough. For good detail in Vellum simulations, I think to do it with triangles it's much better. So we will place down a remesh node, and with this remesh node we can remesh our grid to triangles. We can go down with the resolution and bump up the iterations a little bit, and for now I go with 0.075, but of course you can increase the resolution later for the final simulation. Cool. That's it for now. Then we want to do the Vellum setup. We will place down a Vellum configure cloth, and after the configure cloth we can place down a Vellum solver and just press shift and enter, so the three inputs will get connected immediately. Cool. Now when we press play and nothing special happens, the cloth just drops down because of the one force, it's the gravity. I don't need that for now, let's disable that, and let's do it on 0. If you want it, you can sure get it. So without the gravity nothing will happen. Let's first of all dial down the stretch, the bend stiffness a little bit, and the stretch stiffness also a little bit here, and dive inside the Vellum solver. Let's delete that for now, we don't need this. And the cool thing is we can set our forces up here. First of all, place down a pop force, a pop attract, there is it. Wire it into the input here and force scale maybe 5 and press play. There you have it. It's pretty easy, but we will do some wax soon, so let's get this up to 0.5 and this to 0.75. Yeah, something like that is fine. You can place down a Vellum post-process, and that's pretty good if you want to blur it a little bit. So for now you can blur it like here, so 0.5, and you can detangle it, and more important, get the subdivision to a higher level, and that already looks pretty cool. Let's just freeze that here in a null and disconnect it again. Cool. But now we want to apply the forces on different frames. Sure, we can make that with keyframes, but let's use a little bit of Vex. So click on the use Vex expression button here and set the force scale to 0. And now we want to say to the pop attract node, if the frame, so if then open brackets and add frame, is bigger than, and let's do a channel, so a channel integer, brackets, and let's call that frames underscore 01. If that is higher than the certain amount of the frame, we will set here the force scale parameter. So force scale equals to other channel. So let's type maybe amp for amplitude, press enter, and let's press our little parameter here, and here's an arrow. Oh yeah, we need to get here that one. So now we can say if the frame is higher than 24 frames, so 1 second, set the force scale amplitude to, let's say, 5. Let's go back and press play. Nothing happens, and on frame 24 we will get our pop attract to happen. The cool thing is we can set it down too, so decrease the number, but let's just have a look here. Yeah, that looks not bad. Let's go back into our solver, and the cool thing is we can copy the whole stuff here, paste it down, and type in here frame 2, and let's also copy that one here, whoops, and call it amplitude underscore 02 maybe, and that underscore 01. Let's just delete that one. Delete. So now we got here frame 2. So let's dial into the frame 02 parameter 10 frames later. So for the first frame we want an amplitude of 5, and when the frame crosses that frame here, we will set it to 0. Let's just play it back and look. So, and stop. Cool. And we will get this really nice wobble effect. So, let's copy that one here. Well, let's copy the first one. And I want to place down a pop wind, because the cool thing is you can dial that here in 2, so use Vex expressions, paste it in here, and don't use the force scale, use the amp function. Press create spare parameters, and for example, again, frame 24, Oh, we need to set the amplitude, maybe 3. And now you can see silence, and there we go. Of course, what you can do, again, paste these two again in and frame, let me that one, and set it then to 0, and the amplitude after the first frame parameter maybe 1.5, and connect it. Let's connect both and see what happened. So you will get a attract force and you will get the amplitude force from the wind. And the cool thing is you can do it with all parameters here. So that's pretty nice. Let's just... Okay, that's good for now. Let's have a look at the wind separately. Okay, let's decrease the amplitude here a little bit, so maybe 0.5 is good. Yeah, I think that's better. Enable the first one again and have a look. Something like that, cool. Then I will place down a pop axis force to turn the whole thing a little bit. And you can see the slight turn here. But I will bump that up a little bit to maybe 3. And then the two forces. Cool. Let's dive up. Let's increase the sub-steps a little bit. And give it a sim. Of course, what you can do, you can increase the resolution on the remesh node. That's fully up to you. If you want more detail, let's just increase that here to 0.025. And give it a sim here. Of course, it will take much longer because we have much more polygons to deal with, but we will get way more detail here. I think that looks pretty okay for now. Let's get a Vellum post process and extrude by thickness. 0.25. Let's dial that down here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice. Place down a null node and we can call it like out cloth. Dive up and we will build a little render setup for this. Let's place a camera. Camera close up 001. Go to the Redshift tab. Let's go first to the view tab and to full HD. Let's get a wider lens for now. And I want to enable the Redshift depth of field option. copy, paste, dial down the COC radius, and I will use a bokeh image here. That's for the camera. Now we will go on the light. I just use a quick dirty dome light here. RS light dome 01. Let's get a simple dome light here. And then we can place a ROP network for the redshift stuff and a material network for the materials. Call this RSMed for example, and redshift out. Dive inside the redshift out and place down a redshift custom. Connect the camera here. Let's enable global illumination to brute force, and if you got an RTX card you can enable optics RT. Let's dive inside the RSMed and place down an RS material builder. Let's rename it RSMed cloth and dive inside. Just stick with the default one for now. It's fully up to you what you will use with your cloth material. Place down a material node, call this RSMed, and now you can press this button here and go to the material and select the material, or you can press Shift W and you will get your little tree view. That's pretty handy because you can just go to your mat and drag and drop the material in, and you will get a relative path. That's also pretty handy. Let's enable the redshift render view for now. Let's scale it a little bit down. And here we got our cloth. Now it's fully up to you. What do you want to use? Focal length, light, all your choice. So just experiment with different focal lengths. What I find pretty cool when you got this, let's just reset this here. When you got like the fabric is on a static state in the beginning, and then you will go forward in your timeline and it will get crumbled together. I find it pretty cool to get one camera from the top and with like a Rembrandt lighting, so only one light, so you get a pretty contrast image here. So from top, let's just get them to 0, that is -90 and that's a 0. Of course that's now with a simple HDRI, but I think you will get the idea. And then when you zoom out a little bit and make the cloth a little bit smaller, something like that. And then you can try all sorts of stuff. Make the cloth out of glass, because why not? Or as material, you can apply noise, for example. I think that would be cool too. Let's set it to Of course, you can place down some fabric textures. But I think that's pretty okay for now. Of course, you can play with the forces, the parameters, with the cutting pattern of the cloth. You can do it with a whole jacket, or make a layered piece, so different layers of cloth. But that's just an example what you can do and what you can achieve in, like, I think now we go like 20 minutes, and I hope you like it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.